So picture this for a second. Most people think that to build wealth in real estate, you have to own the property. You buy a house, fix it up, rent it out, maybe flip it or sit on it for appreciation. That's what we're all being taught, right? That wealth in real estate comes from being the owner. But here's the truth nobody talks about. The real power isn't in owning the property. It's in owning the debt that the property sits on. Because while landlords are dealing with repairs, property taxes, late night calls and broken AC units, the bank is doing something completely different. The bank is sitting back, collecting payments. They don't fix roofs. They don't chase tenants. They just get paid every single month. They don't own the property. They own the paper behind the property. And once you understand that difference, you start to see real estate in a completely new way. Now, let's make this real for a second. If you've ever owned rental property, you know how quickly passive income can turn into a full-time job. The tenant calls at 11 p.m. because the water heater exploded. A contractor quotes one price and then doubles it halfway through the job. Or you finally think you've got a good renter and they stop paying after 3 months. You deal with the stress, the uncertainty, the management, and meanwhile, the bank, they still get paid. It doesn't matter if the tenant trashes the place. It doesn't matter if there's a vacancy. The bank's income doesn't skip a beat because they're not tied to the property itself. They're tied to the promise to pay that's backed by that property. That's the beauty of note investing. You become the lender. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what does it actually mean? How do you own a note? So let's break that down. Every time someone takes out a mortgage, two legal documents are created. The first, there's a promissory note. That's the borrower's written promise to repay. It spells out the amount owed, the interest rate, and the payment schedule. Second, there's the mortgage or deed of trust. That's what secures the promise with the property itself. It says, if I don't pay, the lender can take back this property. Now here's the part most people never hear about. Those notes can be bought and sold. That means you, as an investor, can literally step into the shoes of the bank. You're not buying the property. You're buying the loan that's attached to it. Now you can own the right to receive those monthly payments. If the borrower pays, you make money. If the borrower doesn't pay, you still have recourse because the property itself secures the loan. You don't manage the tenants. You don't fix things. You don't even need to see the property in person. You own the paper, and that paper controls the property. It's one of the most overlooked forms of real estate investing. And here's what makes it so powerful. You can earn like a bank, but on your own terms, with your own capital, and without the corporate red tape. Let me paint a picture. Imagine two investors. Investor A buys a single-family home for $250,000. They rent it out, they handle the property management, and after everything, mortgage, taxes, maintenance, they're making maybe $400 a month in cash flow. Investor B buys a mortgage note for $100,000 that pays 8% interest. The homeowner makes their payments each month, and that investor earns $8,000 a year or $667 a month without dealing with repairs, vacancies, or management. One owns the property, the other owns the income stream. Same real estate, total different experience. And here's what's wild. Both investors are backed by the same type of collateral, real property. But only one of them sleeps soundly at night. Now, inside note investing, there are two broad categories: performing and non-performing notes. Performing notes are exactly what they sound like. The borrower is paying on time. You buy that note, you collect those payments, and it's steady, reliable income. It's as close as truly passive as real estate gets. Then there are non-performing notes. And this is where experienced investors can see huge opportunities. These are notes where the borrower has stopped paying. To most banks, that's a headache. They want to get rid of it. So they sell those notes to investors at a steep discount, sometimes as much as 50 cents on the dollar. As the new note holder, you simply step in and get to work. You can reach out to the borrower and restructure the loan, maybe lower the interest rate or extend the term so they can afford the payments again. Now that note becomes reperforming, and guess what? You can either keep collecting those payments or sell the note at a profit. Or, if the borrower truly can't pay, you can start a foreclosure process and potentially take control of the property, usually at a fraction of its value. That's why note investing is so flexible. There are multiple exit strategies, multiple ways to make money, and multiple paths to manage risk. And because you're buying the debt, not the property, you can hold notes in multiple states without ever flying across the country. Think about that. Traditional property investors have to manage real assets, roof, walls, tenants, utilities. Note investors manage contracts. That's why banks love this game. Their business isn't real estate, it's paper. They make their money lending, collecting interest, and controlling risk through collateral. And the cool part? You can copy their playbook, just on a smaller scale. Now let's talk about something really important, and that is risk. People always ask, yeah, but what happens if the borrower doesn't pay? Here's the thing. When you buy notes, especially at a discount, you're often well protected. Let's say you buy a note for 60,000 and the property behind it is worth 100,000. That means your investment is secured by an asset worth significantly more than what you paid. Even if things go sideways, you've got built-in equity protecting you. Compare that to owning a rental. If the market dips, if the roof caves in, that's on you. You lose time, money, and sleep. With a note, your investment is protected by the property, not dependent on it. That's a huge mindset shift. You stop thinking like a landlord and start thinking like a lender. Let's look at a few real examples to drive this home. Now, a little caveat, the numbers in these examples is just simplified to illustrate the purpose. There are a lot more that goes into it in terms of interest rate and the term, etc. But just for simplicity, stay with me. In the first example, a performing note, an investor buys a mortgage note for $100,000 that pays an interest rate that drives approximately $8,000 a year in cash flow. The borrower pays each month. The investor collects the money, and that's it. No stress, no surprises. Now here's the second example, a non-performing note. Let's say the borrower owes $90,000 on a property worth $100,000. They've fallen behind and the bank wants to offload the loan. You buy that note for $45,000, a 50% discount. You reach out, work out a plan, and get the borrower paying again. In this case, $600 a month for the next 10 years at a modest interest rate. Let's assume that's $7,200 a year in cash flow, which gives you roughly a 16% return on your investment. And the whole time, that note is backed by a property worth double what you paid. So even if something goes wrong, you've got options. You can foreclose, sell the property, or restructure again. That's control. That's leverage. That's freedom. And here's one more story that shows what's possible. Let's say an investor bought a severely delinquent note for 30,000. The house behind it was worth around 90,000. The borrower had completely walked away. So after going through foreclosure, the investor sold the property for 85,000. Even after expenses, that's a great profit from just owning the debt and then managing it after foreclosure. Now, not every deal plays out that perfectly, but it shows you how powerful this strategy can be when you understand how to play the bank's game. Because at the end, banks aren't chasing property values. They're managing paper that controls those properties. They understand that owning the loan is often safer, simpler, and more scalable than owning the property itself. And once you see it from the lens of the bank, it's hard to go back. You start to realize that real estate isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about contracts, interest rates, and cash flow. It's about owning the right side of the deal. Now, to be clear, traditional real estate can still be great. Owning physical property has its perks. There's appreciation, there's control, there's pride of ownership. But it's active. It takes time, energy, and management. Note investing, on the other hand, is quiet wealth. It's passive, it's secured, it's scalable. You can build a portfolio that pays you month after month without ever answering a tenant call again. That's why experienced investors often transition from owning doors to owning notes. They start realizing it's not about how many properties they have. It's about how many payments come in every month. That's where true financial freedom comes from. So here's the big takeaway. Owning property and owning notes are both forms of real estate investing, but they play by different rules. Property investors own the house. Note investors own the payments. Property investors deal with repairs. Note investors deal with returns. One trades time for money. The other trades paper for profit. And when you start thinking like a bank instead of a buyer, everything changes. Because the banks have been showing us the blueprint all along. They don't swing hammers. They don't fix toilets. They lend money, collect interest, and secure their position with the property. You can do the same thing at your level, in your market, with the capital you have. And once you do, you'll never look back at real estate the same way again. If this opened your eyes and you want to lean in and learn how to actually do this, how to find, analyze, and buy a mortgage note the smart way, then just head over to our website, ritzelnotes.com, and reach out to us. We would love to talk to you. You'll find step-by-step training, real examples, and resources to help you start building a portfolio that pays you like a bank, even if you never bought a note before. And if this gives you a few aha moments, why don't you hit that follow button, subscribe, or share it with someone who's still stuck in the landlord grind. Because once you stop chasing properties and start owning the paper that controls them, that's when you stop working for real estate and real estate starts working for you. Until next time, stay focused and go and live your dream.